Jiang Kung is the defining meaning of the Chinese. For the title of this chapter, say is to the refer to the liberation in the temple, selected by general for his temporary use, or as we should say, in his tent, CSS 26. Sun Tzu said, the art of war is a vital, important to the state. It is a matter of life and death, or either to safety or ruin. His is the subject inquiry which can on no account be neglected. The art of war, then he governed by five constant factors to be taken into account in one's deliberations when seeking to determine the conditions obtaining in the field. There are the morals, the one is the moral law, two heaven, three earth, four the commander, five method and discipline. It appears from what follows that Sanchu means by moral law, a principle of harmony not unlike the Tao of Lao Tzu in its moral aspect. One might be tempted to render it by moral, where is not considered as an attribute of the ruler in SS 3. 5, 6, the moral law causes the people to be complete accord with their role, so that they will be follow him regardless of their lives undismayed by any danger. Tuyu quotes Wang Chu as saying, without constant practice, the officers will be near us and undecided when mastering for battle. Without constant practice, the general will be wavering and irresolute when the crisis is at hand. Heaven signifies night and day, cold and hard times, seasons. The commentators, I think, make an unnecessary mistake of two words here. May she prepare to the hard and soft waxing and waning of heaven. Wang He, however, will be right in saying that what it means is the general economy of heaven, including the five elements, the four seasons, wind and clouds, and other phenomena. Earth comparison distance great and small, danger and security, open ground and narrow passes, the chances of life and death. The commanders stand for the virtues of wisdom, sincerely, benevolence, courage, and strictness. The five cardinal virtues of the Chinese are humanity of benevolence, uprightness of mind, self respect, self control, proper feeling, wisdom, sincerity of good faith. Here, wisdom and sincerity are put before humanity of benevolence. The two military virtues of courage and strictness substitute for uprightness of mind and self respect. The self control or the poverty feeling. By method of discipline are the two understood the marshalling of the army in its proper subdivision and graduation of rank among the officers, the maintenance road by which supplies may reach the army, and control of military expenditure. These five heads should be familiar to every general. He who knows then will be victorious. He who knows the not will fail. Therefore, in your deliberation, when seeking to determine the military condition, let them be made the base of comparison in this wise. Which of the two sovereigns is employed with the moral law? It is the harmony with the subject, CFSS. Which of the two general has the most ability? With one lie the advantages derived from heaven and earth. CSS 7A. On which side discipline must rigor less enforce? Tumo alludes to the remarkable story of Chow Chow, AD 155-200, who was a strict disciplinarian that once, in accordance with his own severe regulation against injury to standing cramp, he them himself to death for having allowed Hemhorst to shy into a field of corn. However, in lieu of losing his head, he was persuaded to satisfy his sense of justice by cutting off his hair. Churchill's on comment on the present passage is characteristically curt. When you lay down a law, it is not disobeyed. If it is not disobeyed, the offender must be put to death. Which army is stronger? Morally, as a physical, as the miauch in which it freely reared spiritual the corps and big battalions. On which side are officers and men more highly trained? So you coach Wang Chu are saying, without constant practice, the officers will be nervous and undecided when mustering for battle. Without constant practice, the general will be wavering and irresolute when the crisis is at hand. In which army in there are the general extensive both and rewarded and punishments? On which side is there the most absolute? Certainly that merit will be properly rewarded and indeed summarily punished. By means of this seven consideration can forecast victory or defeat. The general that hearkens to my counsel and act upon it conquer. Let such a one of be retained in command. The general that hearken not to my counsel, nor act upon it, will suffer defeat. Let us such one be dismissed. The form of this paragraph reminds us that Sancho Treatise was composed expressly for the benefit of his patron Holo, king of the Wu state, which heading the prophet of counsel, avail yourself also of any helpful circumstances over the beyond the ordinary rules, according to circumstances and favorable one should modify one's plans. Sun Tzu, as a practical soldier, will have none of the bookish theory. He cautions none of the bookish theory. He cautions us not to pin our faith to abstract principle for, as Chang Yu puts it, while mellows of strategy can be started clearly, enough for the benefits of all and sundry. You must be guided by action of enemy in attempting to secure a favorable position in actual warfare. On the eve of the Battle of Waterloo, Lord Unbridge, commanding the cavalry, went to the dock of Wellington in order to learn what his plans and calculation were for the morrow. Because as he explained, he might suddenly find himself commander in chief and would be unable to frame new plans in the critical moment. The Duke listened quietly and then said, "Who will attack the first tomorrow? I or Bonaparte?" "Bonaparte," replied Lord Ambridge. "Well, continued the dog, "Bonaparte has not given me any idea of his project, and as my plans will be depend upon his, how can you expect me? Tell me what mine are." All warfare is based on deception. The truth of this pity and profound saying will be admitted by every soldier. Cole Henderson tells us the Wellington great is so many military qualities was especially distinguished by extraordinary skill, which he concealed his movements and deceiving both friends and foe. Hence, when able to attack, he must seem unable when using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must have the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. Hold out bites to entice the enemy, bear disorder and crush him. All commands expecting you. Say, when is this disorder? Crush him. It is more naturally supposed that Sanchu is still illustrating the uses of deception in war. If he is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. If your opponent is of choleric tempered, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak that he may grow arrogant. Wang Chu, put it by Tuyu, says that good tacticians plays which his adversary as a cat play with a mouse, first feigning weakness and immobility and then suddenly pouncing upon him. If he is taking his ease, giving him to rest. This is probably the meaning, though, of Mehiach and has the note. While we are taking our ease, wait for the enemy to tire himself out. The Yulan has lured him on, tired him out. If his forces and united separate them, less plausible and the interpretation favored by most of the commentators in sovereign and subject are in a clear put division between them. Attack him when he is unprepared, appear where you are not expected. Their military devices leading victory must not be dissolved beforehand. Now the general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple airy the battle is about. Shang Yu tells us that in ancient times it was customary for a temple to be set apart for the use of general who was about to take the field in order that he might there elaborate his plan of campaign. The general who loses the battle makes but few calculations beforehand. Those too many calculations lead to victory, and few calculations to defeat. How much more no calculation at all? It is by attention to this point that I can foresee who is likely to win or lose. Words on Wellington by Sir W. Brazzer, The Art of the War.